Hello and welcome to another live stream from the Infinite Zero Experience. I'm your host, Tio, the Infinite Zero, joining you from the Atlantic Rainforest in Brazil. The topic for today's live stream continues from the previous live streams. So if you haven't caught them, don't worry. I'm going to catch you up briefly and I'm going to go deeper into playing games that you don't need to play, that you don't have to play, that you want to play. Games of life which you choose to play, which actually make life the most interesting and enjoyable experience that you can have. And before we go into this, once again, we're going to take a minute to settle in, to receive this full stream. And I'm going to play a video of the ocean and just take in all of the energy. Allow yourself to receive everything that's coming in from the stream. And see you in a minute. Welcome. Welcome in. So, in the past few streams, I've been talking about fulfilling our needs and what happens when you actually reach fulfillment of all your needs, your physical, your emotional, your psychological, and your spiritual needs. Your needs for recognition, your need for attention, love, creativity, output, material needs. When all of that has been met, what then? Is that it? Is that the end of life? A lot of us are programmed with this idea of an ultimate fulfillment. And because it is ultimate, because it's presented to us in a way that is the end, that is the highest, we kind of unconsciously program ourselves to make that happen at the end of our life. So we don't actually want it to happen because when it does happen, then what? Then we're just left with nothing, with no desire. And we are programmed. We are beings of desire. We're not just programmed with desires, we're programmed with certain desires, but we are essentially beings of desire. And when there is no desire, that is when depression sets in. When we feel like life is meaningless and purposeless, that's when we start feeling depressed. But desire is what drives us. But if we are programmed with this idea that our needs are our desires, which will only be fulfilled at the end of our life, and we live our life in this feeling of disappointment, lack, unfulfilled, then our whole reality is that experience is that no matter what we have, we are always unfulfilled. We are always in need. And the work I do with people is to zoom past that story because there's so much more that opens up once you are fulfilled. When you truly start realizing that the real games of life only show up when you're fulfilled. The real games of life only show up when you're fulfilled. These games cannot be played from a place of need, from a place of lack, from a place of wanting something. If you are having an experience when you where you're in a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety, you need peace. That is an emotional, psychological, spiritual need. It's a need. You need to feel peaceful. So if you are presented with a game that's going to make you feel more anxious, you will say no to it. You cannot want to play that game because you want to play a game which will just make you feel peaceful. You want to find peace, that's your game. You want to find calmness, that's your game. And that's perfectly valid. We do need that. But if that is the ultimate goal of your life, is to reach nirvana, the bliss, peace, heaven, because that is going to be the rest of your afterlife. There's no life after that. Afterlife literally means that there's no life after it. It's like when I am at the end of my life, I will have peace. But until then, I will just be an anxious person. You cannot play the real games because the real games of life are a full spectrum experience. They will make you experience everything, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, the full spectrum of emotions, of psychological experiences, spiritual experiences. You're going to have all of it when you're playing the real games of life. It's not The real games of life are not all smooth and easy. And that's why these are the games that you have to want to play. You don't have to play them, you don't need to play them. You want to play them because they are enriching and expanding your full experience of life. These games can only be played from a place where you're ready to experience everything. But if you're feeling anxious, you cannot play a game that will make you have a full spectrum experience because your first need is peace. When you are feeling that you lack security, inner security, when you are feeling that you lack money for survival, when you're feeling that you don't have a relationship that is fulfilling you, you do not have emotional stability, you feel lonely, you cannot play games where you may experience the full spectrum of life, which includes things falling apart, things breaking down, having to rebuild your life. Like those games can only be played from a place where you feel fully secure and solid. And this state can be experienced by anyone at any stage of your life. You don't have to experience this in early life, midlife, or late life. You can feel fulfilled, secure, whole at any stage of your life. You can reach that as a state of being and live the rest of your life from there. It's absolutely possible to have that. And then is when the real life games begin. Now you have to want to play these games because truly these games will be as uncomfortable, will bring as much pain and suffering as they'll bring you joy, love, bliss, beauty, magic, peace. They truly bring the full spectrum of the experience. But they will bring pain, suffering, resistance, opposition, hatred. The world will be playing this game with you. There will be real players in this game with all different kinds of energies that are matching your energy, that are the duality of you. Your mirror will keep appearing in different ways. You'll see different aspects of yourself mirrored in life. But this game is super exciting. This is the game that makes you feel fully alive. Is when you are playing the game not just with yourself. It's not just a game of fulfilling your needs, but you are truly playing games with forces of life that want real players. They will push you because they want to feel equally alive. They want to experience friction, they want to experience confrontation, they want to experience battle, war, all of these things, all of the things that truly bring life. This is what a lot of people don't comprehend. We all are looking for this very peaceful, blissful world. We want Earth to be a place where everything is peace. But Earth is a place where you get to experience everything, everything. This is not a planet that is meant for peace. It's never been that. It's literally never been that. For as long as history is there, our oldest myths are myths of war. They are myths that include the full spectrum of experience. There are golden ages, there's peace and beauty and love and prosperity and abundance, and then there is war. There is everything. There's everything in between. We have all the seasons on earth, and it will always be all the seasons on earth. There will always be a summer, spring, winter, autumn. Like, it's always going to be the case. Just take a moment to take all of this in, and I'm going to take a small pause. So just to repeat what I was saying just before this, is that these games are going to bring the full spectrum of the experience of life. This is what Earth is for, is to have the full spectrum experience of life. It's not a place you come to just have a simple, blissful, peaceful experience where everything is nice. The people, the humans who have this experience where everything is perfect end up depressed. We need we need challenge, we need adversity, we need duality. This is what humans are. Humans are meant for the full spectrum experience. If we get stuck in any side of the duality, it leads to imbalance. It leads to our whole system going out of balance. If we are in hell for too long, it's imbalance. If you're in heaven for too long, it's imbalance. When we are in hell, we are looking for heaven. And a lot of people are having a hellish experience. They're stuck in traumas, they're stuck in depression, they're stuck in anxiety. And that is why there's so much selling of heaven, nirvana, peace, healing, which is like this ultimate perfection where you'll just have the perfect life. But what happens when you get to heaven? You don't want to stay stuck there for the rest of your life. And if you have this idea, then you're never going to get to heaven. Your internal system wants the duality. Our souls are here to experience a full spectrum, to experience duality. These are games which call you to play with power. These are the real games that open up when you are whole in yourself. There is this infinite ladder of power, of love, both. It's not just power or just love. It's power and love. It's the full duality. It's the full experience. But it's an ever growing ladder. This is the game. This is the core game of life beyond needs is power. You want to keep growing, you want to experience more power, you want to experience your potential in its fullness, beyond its fullness, to keep growing, to feel whole, to feel full, and to keep expanding that infinitely. This is life, this is the universe. The universe is in constant expansion. It's in constant expansion. And that's life itself. And that's you. You are here to constantly expand. But that happens when you have a solid baseline, when you have reached fulfillment, when you have reached completeness within you. And you get to this when that becomes your goal. I want to feel complete. I want to feel whole. I want to be fully me. When that is the goal of your healing, when that is the goal of your spiritual journey, the first stage of your spiritual journey is just, I want to be whole, I want to be complete. A lot of the people who are on the spiritual journey have no idea what they are even going towards. It's just eternal seeking. There is no end goal. And you can be a seeker for the rest of your life, or you can become a finder. You can seek enlightenment your whole life, or you can find enlightenment and then move on from that. When I first experienced enlightenment, for me it was this wow thing because I thought that this is what you experience at the end of the spiritual journey. My spiritual journey started with that experience of enlightenment. Now imagine if this was painted as the ultimate thing and there's nothing beyond this. Then I have already finished my journey at the beginning and then there's nothing more. No, that's not it. For me, truly, the way I see it is that enlightenment is the first step of the journey, of the real journey, the real spiritual journey, the journey which is fun, the journey which is alive, the journey which has no end, the infinite journey, the limited journey of where enlightenment is sold as the destination. Yeah, it's a limited journey, and that has an end, and that can take forever because you don't want to reach the end. Because once you're at the end, then what? Then you just feel empty. There is this beautiful story of I saw it in a show called Westworld, where the guy talks about having an old greyhound dog, which is a race dog, and its whole life is spent running in circles, chasing this rag which is shaped like a rabbit, and it can run very fast, and it's become old, and these people have adopted it, and these kids have this greyhound on a leash, but they want to see what it's really like. And so they release this greyhound, and the greyhound sees a cat, and it rushes after this cat, and it gets the cat, and it kills the cat. But once it does that, it's just sitting there, and it's confused, and it's lost. Because its whole life, it has been chasing this cat. It's been chasing this rabbit. It's been chasing this piece of cloth, but it never got it. Its whole life purpose was defined by seeking, by chasing, but not actually having. And this is how a lot of us are programmed. We are programmed to seek, to chase, but not to actually have, to experience fulfillment. Fulfillment can become something that you're just chasing and seeking your whole life, or it can become a state that you have all the time that is expanding infinitely. And this is something you want. You don't need. You can play the other game of need and achieving fulfillment for the rest of your life, or you can play the game of being fulfilled and expanding it infinitely for the rest of your life. These for me are two completely different categories. And most of the people are in the first category, that they're just chasing and seeking eternally. And there's so many industries built around this. The whole health industry, the fitness industry, the spiritual industry, the of course we have the corporations that are just built as this ladder of chasing and seeking. Healing, like all of these industries, big chunks of them, majority of them are designed to keep people in a state of chasing and seeking. People get tired of the corporate ladder and they switch to the spiritual ladder. The spiritual ladder of enlightenment, which is again seeking and chasing something, is always chasing and seeking something instead of being the one who has it, who has attained, who is fulfilled, who is whole, who's complete, and then is growing infinitely with no end. There is literally no end goal. You just keep going. You just keep playing the game of life. But you start understanding that this is something you have to want. You have to want to play an infinite game with no end. This is a complete switch in reality because most of us want, or no, most of us have been programmed to play games where we want an end. We want an end of life. We want an end of the game, the corporate ladder, this retirement where we will reach this ultimate success, nirvana, heaven, where we will reach this ultimate state of enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment, healing where we will become perfect and there will be no more trauma and I will just be completely perfect and I will never make another mistake again because I have become this perfect being who lives without making a single mistake, who's always the best for everyone, who everyone loves. Like so much of religion and spirituality is sold as making you into this perfect human, which you will never become. So you will always play the game of seeking. You will always be an imperfect human, chasing and seeking to be a perfect human, which will never happen. So much of spirituality and religion is designed around this lie, this illusion of making you believe that you need to be a perfect human, that there is such a thing as a perfect human. And we created idols. Oh, this was a perfect human. We have to all be like Jesus and Buddha and Krishna and whoever, so many different religions. And this is what being the perfect human looks like. And you'll never get there because they're idols. They're literally created as ideals. Ideals are not reality, it's not practical. No one can live that way. It's painted that these are perfect beings, but perfect in whose eyes? Who wants to live like the Buddha? Like, really? Who wants to live like the Buddha? Someone who's completely detached from life, who has no identity, who's just roaming around the jungle, talking shit to people, saying whatever they believe. Like the Buddha was just another man who was giving his own philosophy. And some people loved it. But do you actually want to live this way? Do you want to live as someone who never makes a mistake, who always says the perfect thing, who's just loved by everyone? Is that actually the experience of life that you want? Or it's just something that's sold to you that looks very appealing because then you will not have any problems. People will not get angry with you. People will not dislike you. You will not have to have any confrontations. All of this is desired by people who are afraid, who are powerless. When you are too afraid to have confrontations, you want to become someone who's perfect, who never has confrontations. This is the ultimate desire of the people pleaser, the one who's too afraid to have confrontations, who's too afraid to be disliked, wants to become a perfect human who will be loved by everyone. But when you are connected to your power and you are not afraid to confront others, to be confronted by others, then you can play all the games in the world. You can play any game. It doesn't matter if people like you or don't like you. You are being you. You're playing what you love playing, what gives you joy. It's not about others liking you or not liking you. You're doing what you love. But you cannot actually play the games that you love until you find that inner security. The games that you love are not going to make you perfect and loved by everyone. The games that will give you true joy and fulfillment will not make you loved by everyone. The only games that will make you loved by everyone are games that have a goal which you will never reach. The game literally is when you play this game, when you finish the game, when you have achieved this ultimate state, you'll be loved by everyone. It's an impossible goal. And you'll just keep playing that and you'll always be disappointed and you'll always feel like you're broken. There's something wrong with you, there's something missing in you. How could I have said this? How could I have done this? I should be more perfect. There's something wrong with me. If I'm just being human, there's something wrong with me. You're not broken. It's called being human. You are not broken. This is the experience of being human. Being human means you're not liked by everyone, that there are people whom who will get offended by you just being you. No matter who you are. You'll be one version of yourself which you think is perfect. There'll be people who will be offended by that. You'll become another version to adjust to make those people happy. Other people will get offended. You'll keep adjusting yourself and changing yourself. Someone or the other will always be unhappy with you. And at the root of it all, you will be unhappy with you because you're not actually honoring yourself and being who you truly are. This is the root disappointment, is when you are not happy with yourself, is when you're trying to please everyone, you're not actually truly loving yourself. And when you truly start loving yourself, you start playing the games that you want to play. This is where the energy comes to play the games that you want to play, when you are truly loving yourself. And in when you reach this state, then you're ready to play games that can offend others, that can hurt others, not by you intentionally going out and hurting others. People do get hurt by you just being you, by you making the choices that you make. Those choices do end up having consequences, and that can cause pain for some people. When you choose to live your life in alignment with yourself, you may end up making decisions, doing actions of leaving certain places, of joining certain places which hurt people by your presence and by your absence. It's literally impossible not to have an impact on people when you're truly being you or not being you. Whatever you're being, whoever you're being, you're going to have an influence and impact on people. And this is why a lot of people want to run away from society, from the world, and go and hide in a cave and want to be isolated. It's because they're too afraid of hurting others. But literally, even you hiding in a cave is hurting others. Your absence also hurts the world as much as your presence. And it's also cause for love. It's also cause for joy. There'll be people who'll be happy that you're hiding and invisible, and there'll be people who are happy that you're here, that you're present. Your presence and your absence is always going to have a dual effect. Always. It's just how this life is. It's just the experience of being human. Some people will like you and some people will not. But which side do you choose? It's not about good and evil. It's not about right and wrong. It's to choose you. It's to be on your side, finally. To fully honor yourself and do what you want to do. Do what you love doing. Choose the games that you want to play, that give you the most joy and fulfillment, that make you experience the most love and magic, that make you feel your most powerful, potential, creative self. These are the games where you truly get to feel the full extent of your power. Because when you start feeling power and start using your power, it has impact, and your impact keeps growing. And there are more people who are affected, more people who love you, and more people who hate you. It grows. The more power you embody, the more power you experience. Your power, when your power grows, it has a dual effect in the world. And this is why it's something you have to want. It's, it can only happen through wanting. Your power can only grow from you wanting to grow your power. A lot of us just spend our energy rejecting our power, keeping our power at bay because we don't want to take responsibility that our energy has an influence on people, has an impact on people, that our presence, our being has an impact on people. We don't want to take responsibility of this. So we prefer to create narratives within ourselves that keep us feeling powerless. So we distance ourselves from power. We dissociate from our power and say, "Oh, it wasn't me. This is I don't know. This is my traumas. I am behaving like this because of my parents, because of my family, because of my culture." Yeah, it's you. Own that. And instead of having that narrative, change and become someone who has an impact. Again, that impact will have a dual effect, but at least it's the impact you want to be having. At least you are enjoying life. You can distance yourself from your power, you can disclaim your power, you can disclaim your responsibility and disown it, and it still has an impact on people, and still you'll be acting out your traumas and hurting people. You just don't take responsibility for it. You're still having an impact. Or you take responsibility, choose who you want to be, and have the impact anyways, and grow your impact and impact more people. But now you'll be having truly a dual effect. When you are being fully you, there'll be the people who love you, and there'll be the people who are affected by you in ways that are not comfortable, that are not pleasant, because you are shaking up things within. Your energy, your presence, your power expands and interacts with people, and it shakes up things within them. It makes them realize that they are not playing to their full potential, that they are not choosing to be in their power and play the games that they want. This happens a lot with people who are in their power, that the people who are powerless, who experience people who are in their power, start projecting onto them. They want to destroy those people, they want to bring them down. Instead of people being in their own power, they want everyone to be powerless. This is one of, for me, the biggest issues with a lot of people is that when we are in our powerless state, we want to destroy those who are in power rather than become powerful ourselves. And this is where you can change the game for yourself. If you have been someone who feels powerless, own your power and start playing your games. Instead of trying to tear down the people who have power, take power and create the world that you want, create the life that you want. A lot of people are busy destroying the old world, destroying what doesn't work, destroying the things that are causing them pain and trauma, instead of using all of their energy and power to build a new world that they want. You want to experience a different world, you want to experience a different type of leadership, a different type of corporation, a different type of whatever, a different world. Build it. Build it. If you know what is better, go build it. And if you don't know what's better, instead of hurting the people who are hurting you, find the people who can help you and feed them and help them to build the world that you want. There are people out there who are in alignment with you. So if you are not the builder, support the builders, but feed your energy towards creation. This is my suggestion. This is my experience. I spend a lot of my life hating what doesn't work, trying to destroy what doesn't work. And when I started shifting into being a creator myself, I saw what wasn't working, what I did not like, and I found better ways. I found better alternatives, and I went and created them. And I'm creating them. I'm creating the world that I want to live in. I'm helping people create the world that they want to live in, to create lives that they love, that they enjoy. Instead of blaming others for the life that you don't enjoy, take power, take responsibility, take ownership, and create the life that you do love and enjoy. And then go create the world that you love and enjoy. And more people will join you. When you are building something that you love, you'll find the people who love what you love and will build it together with you. But if you're just busy tearing down what you hate, you'll only attract other haters, and you're just surrounded by people who are hating together, who are miserable together, who are powerless together, and blaming everyone for what is wrong. And nothing actually changes. You just keep feeding the world that you don't want. You keep feeding the life that you don't want. This is how energy works. Wherever you direct it, it feeds that. So when something is not working and you keep feeding it, you're just feeding it, because all of it is fuel. It's all fuel. For the people in the old system which is not working, they also need people to hate them. That's how creation works. That's fuel too. The system, the world that we are in today, needs both sides. That's how wars work. A war is not one sided, a war needs two sides. It needs someone to stand up and oppose and hate. So if you don't like that world and you're hating it, you're just feeding it, you're keeping it going. You want a different world, the only way is to stop feeding it completely and build the world that you want. Find out what you want, find out what you love, own the power, claim the power, go build it. Start with your life, expand it to a world. This is what I'm doing, this is what I'm teaching, this is what I do with people. I help them to figure out the life that they want to live and to build it. I help them to figure out the world that they want to live in and build it, to create it. Let's create. And this is when you're playing the games that you truly love and enjoy. When you are building a life and a world that you love, of course you enjoy it. It's the best game there is, creation. Creating exactly what you want. This is the best game that exists. And this is a game that you have to want to play. You don't have to play it. You don't need to play it. You can just keep existing in other people's worlds where life is happening to you. And you keep being needy, needing others to fix your life, needing others to create the perfect world for you, needing others to come and save you, needing others to give you love and attention. You can keep playing in other people's worlds, needing things from them. Or you can create your life, you can create your world where you are the source of love and inspiration and joy. And then that gets mirrored in the world around you. When you, when you love your life, when you are enjoying your life, suddenly you're surrounded by people who love you and who enjoy being around you and feed you and inspire you. And it just keeps growing infinitely. This is the game I love playing, and there are infinite levels to this game. If you feel like you've hit a plateau at one level, there's always another level. If you are not growing, you're stagnating, you're declining. So, for the ones who are playing this game of creation, there's always another level. There's always a way to expand. There's always a way to grow. This is what feeds the soul. So, this is where I'm going to end today's transmission. For those who have joined me live, thank you for joining in. Let me know in the comments for those who have joined the replay. And for those who have enjoyed it, I would love for you to share something in the comments and also to share this with others. If there's someone else who needs to hear this, please share it with them. Someone needs to hear this today. This message, this live stream is here today because someone needs to hear this. Could be you, could be others, could be that today it was not for you, but there's someone else you know who needs to hear this. So please share this with them. And I'll be super grateful for you sharing this, for you taking this live stream out into the world, expanding and bringing more life to the world. Because that's my intention with these live streams is to bring more life to this world, to make people feel more alive, to make people feel more love for life, to make people feel more joy in life. This for me is my purpose. This is what I'm here to do, and this is what I'm doing on this channel with live streams. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for bringing your energy. And see you in the next one.